Hi, welcome back to the Sword Dead podcast with Aaron, Aldo, and Jay. This is episode 5, Dreams and Nightmares.
Dream, guys. All right, so to kind of kick this off, I want to ask you guys a question. What are some of the dreams that you had as a child?
I had a dream. No, stop. Man, I saw that episode of SpongeBob yesterday too. Actually, no, I'll let you go first. I don't want to go first. I'll let
you guys want me to
or
take
you
it?
go first.
Okay, so I mean, all right, I'll take it then. So, me growing up as a kid, some of my dreams, I did as most kids did, where they like try to mimic themselves over their from their parents. So my dad's a chef, so my original dream was to be a chef. But then, thank you for high school, I kind of learned that being a chef is not what I wanted to do. It was too long hours. It was too many complications that I just couldn't drive with.
What type of complications?
Again, working extremely long hours. To me, I'm kind of family oriented, so the fact that I wouldn't be able to be there for my kids because I would have to work for like 12 hours is insane. So for me, it wasn't worth it. So I decided to change my career path. You remember when I had that whole entire wanting to be an actor thing? That phase of mine that I was like, oh yeah.
You see, I always, I knew it was a phase, and I'm like, I tried, there were a couple of times where like I tried to like talk to you about it to see if I could like maybe like give you like a little heads up, like yo, you know what, maybe what you're doing is.
Yeah, no, like the acting thing came to a grinding halt when I realized that I might have scenes that are going to be like sexual scenes or like kissing scenes, and for me, it's kind of like weird to be in a relationship and then as an actor having to be put in that situation. I know that there's fake kisses and stuff, but even then it's just like I want to stay away from that.
That reminds me of something specifically. I think was it like the dude who plays Thor? I think like during the filming like the second movie, there was like a kissing scene, and like they were gonna get a stand-in, and they were like giving him a choice between like two different actresses, but they were like right by his house. Like, bro, can I just do it with my wife? She seemed from behind they look about the same. So like, yeah, that's fine.
You see that's lucky. I don't know if I'll ever have that luck. But now my thing is just to, be a businessman, be an entrepreneur, start my own business, do my own things, and see where I can take that and sort of leave my mark on the world.
Yo, sell me a pen.
Fuck off.
Yo, I promise you. No, I kid you not. Like it's corny. Like I don't know. Like the whole Wolf of Wall Street thing. It's corny. It sounds corny, but yo, if you can do that, you're fine. Like that's actually a good. Like I have a few buddies that's into the business world and stuff like that. That sells like actual, like not like, it's like drop shipping from Amazon, but they actually sell like products and stuff like that.
What type of products?
Medical products. Some of them work for pharmacies actually, and like not pharmacies but like the factories that do contracts with the pharmacies and stuff like that.
Okay.
He works with them, and he's able to like we have a contract with him from where I work at, and he does a really good job at making sure that his company gets what they want as well as the pharmacies. And he was telling me that as corny as it sounds, that sell a pen thing is actually it holds weight. So it's like if you could sell someone a pen, you could sell someone anything.
Thanks, Preacher Jay.
You're welcome.
But like for me, that's my end goal. My end goal is to leave my mark on the world, leave like something beautiful behind, and that's what I'm currently working towards. Like that's like my main thing. I don't want to give out too much details because I want to keep it like
close to your chest.
Yeah, close to your chest. It's one of those things I'm constantly working on now.
No, we lay our hands on the table. Like our cards on the table has to go on. Tell us, like tell us everything. What's the inside scoop?
We'll know.
You'll see it when it comes out. Hopefully, if everything goes well, man. What about you guys? What are some of the dreams that you guys have had?
You want me to go then?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Cause I have a mouthful. I like change career paths.
I want a little bit more broad. Other than just like straight up like career goals, right? First like big thing that I remember want to go toward. I wanted a fucking elephant and a T-Rex, bro. I was like that.
See, one is more plausible than the other.
So what color elephant you want?
My parents was like, yeah, as long as you clean up after them. I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe not. I think that's maybe where the dream died immediately. Then for like the career thing, middle school, it was like one of those icebreakers where like they would always ask like you to say your name and then kind of like
where do you see yourself in 5 years?
And I never really knew what to say, so I started saying that I wanted to be the dictator of like a small country.
Way to throw that fishing rod way out there, man. That fishing rod way out there, dude. That shit.
I mean, he has a higher chance of becoming a dictator than that T-Rex. Let's be real.
Everything he could have chose, though. He chose a dictator of not even a big country, a small country.
Bro, it's just listen, right? If you think about it, right, theoretically, right, if you're going to be a dictator, if you're going to be you want to be in a smaller place where you're not going to cause as many waves, right? Because if you're in a big country, it might cause more impacts and the more people want you dead. But you're in a small country where you don't really impact anyone, you're going to fly underneath the radar.
I can't wait for Gaddafi to subscribe to the channel.
One of his citizens is going to come like call America. Yo, we got oil if you come save us. I don't care how big or small the country is. We got oil. What's up?
I mean, just because I'm a dictator, I wouldn't think that it would be like that bad of a leader. Just totalitarian rule. What I say goes. That's it.
That's a fact. I think dictators and totalitarianism probably got a bad connotation to them. I think they're misunderstood.
I think we're gonna start attracting the wrong fucking audience.
And then what is it? High school. That's when I started talking about owning a tank. And every single time I tell anyone, they look at me like I'm like
why
crazy.
A tank though?
Bro, I'm telling you, one day I would just like I think I was just scrolling through like YouTube or something, or I might have been like Facebook, and it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger with his tank, and I was like, hold up, you can own a tank?
You can do that?
And then since then I was like, bro, I want a tank. Who wants a sports car when you could drive around in an actual tank?
A normal person?
You can?
No, that's whack. That's hard. No, I want a tank.
Can you imagine how much money you'll spend on gas?
Crazy thing is, you'll probably get the tank faster than I could get an optical for a gun. That's the crazy part. It takes a few months to get them for
Jay,
for guns.
Okay?
I'm trying to help him out. I want to drive that tank. I want to be the man that guns.
That's a fact, bro. I'll let Jade drive. You're not touching it.
You're not allowed in my tank, bro.
You're not touching it.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't want to be.
I'm gonna roll up to your house. I'm gonna.
Are we like not seeing the theme with Aldo? Like first he wants to be a dictator, and like now he's talking about.
Of course, if I'm gonna be a dictator, I need to have a tank. Like
you can't.
I need to install fear. Right?
Like you can't. If you're not a dictator without a tank, that's honestly. Like I get it. I support the antics.
I'm just saying, when this podcast ends up like in the fucking Taliban website in like Afghanistan or some shit like that.
Bro, listen, if they'll provide, some money.
He doesn't mean that.
We get some public.
He doesn't mean that, Joe Biden.
We get some public fundings.
Y'all really think Joe Biden is watching?
Bro, listen. America's running out of money. Yo, if someone else want to throw the money our way,
America's running out of money. I'm running on Duncan. What's up? Like life is good now. They're talking about like by mid of October we're not gonna have money, and
can't wait to start trading them bottle caps.
Yeah, it'll be a whole new Fallout event. I think that'll be fun. I got like a few Coca-Cola ones. I have like the old ones from like the early 2000s for my mom. I can grab them. Like they have to be worth something.
They have to.
Yeah, they're the old bottles, the old like packaging bottles for them for like the earlier 90s and stuff. She has them. They're still filled with soda. I'm tempted to drink one, but wish me luck.
You're gonna end up a fucking mutant.
Yo, for science. For science.
So, like, you want to end off there? Do you have anything else to include in your dreams?
Yeah, the last one was just like was really basic, just kind of like a house, specifically with a pool, right? Because I really enjoy swimming. That was like the more like regular thing. Everything else was like a little bit out there. That's like the basic.
I'm glad that you know that I kind of made a joke and you kind of saw the glint in my eyes and we kind of.
Yeah, I didn't even want to like say anything about it. Just let it go.
I appreciate you though.
I appreciate you.
All right, what about you, Jay?
I don't know. Nah, you know what's crazy? My dream house is not even a house. I hate a house. I want a dream apartment. I want a loft. Like lofts are cool. They look pretty. Cool. My friend has a loft. He lives over in Brooklyn, like Avenue P, stuff like that. His house looks really good. It's like a modern house, like full of tech. He has a loft that overlooks outside, but I don't know. He lives like next to people. I can't do that. Like his.
just buy the whole building.
Yeah, I probably no. Like he owns the whole. Like he fully owns the whole building. Like purchased it in all 1.2 mil. I just can't live next to people. Like he lives next to old people. Like, and I'm trying to like blast like anime openings at like 3 a.m. and stuff like that. And if I get that, yo, turn that ruckus down. I'll switch it out to the loudest anime open, like Baki or something.
So what else? What other? You just want a loft? That's it.
Nah, that's not like
You're
the nah.
simple, man.
Yeah, I'm really simple. Nah. Okay, so like, cause like my dreams and stuff like that changed growing up and stuff like that. Like I wanted to be a cook, typical, right? I probably like because I like spent like a lot of time with like my grandfather and stuff like that. He cooked a lot, great cook. So like seeing him cook, I was like, yeah, I want to cook just like that. Like, yo, we could do a Spanish cook restaurant. That's cool. And then I realized I eat while I cook. That's unsanitary. I can't do it because I'm be tempted to like bring the food out and I'm gonna snatch one of their foods and stuff like that. Yo, give me some. So I can't do that. I can't do that. So I ended up changing, and then like around middle school, I was like, yo, I'm gonna become a lawyer, and it was set on for like a few years, like 3-4 years and stuff like that. And then I realized you had to go to law school. I was like, no, that's too much. Like, you got to get your law degree and then go to law school.
How long did it take you to realize that?
What? It took me
till where doctors come from.
Nah, it's not that. No, that's the reason why I don't want to be a doctor either. And the crazy thing was, actually, I went to school for nursing. When I first started BMCC, I went to school. My first year was in nursing. I wanted to become a nurse at one point.
You would have been such an adorable nurse. I don't know why you didn't pursue that.
I think I look good in some blue scrubs.
Is that why you wanted to be a nurse?
That's a fact. Actually,
it's just for the fit.
That's a fact. Drip, the whole drip.
He wanted a uniform to bag them.
Yeah, yo, the nurse. I could get them now. I don't know what you're talking about, but
nothing says attractive than a medical student.
I mean, to be fair, as a delivery dude, it's another one of those classic situations.
I work with them all the time. I'm cool with them. Like I go out to dinner with them like every other week. They're really cool people. But like by high school. Like after I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this. I was like, yo, I want to become a cop, right? And that's actually the final product for now. Actually,
I remember that, but there was something else before you wanted to be a cop.
I'm becoming a lot of things. Like now, I'm thinking about becoming a clinical therapist. I think that's cool.
Right? What's cool? But you have to go to school for that too.
Yeah, but it's not as long. I could get my bachelor's and go in, or I could become a cop 2 years. I'm actually almost finished still. It's a crazy part.
There you have it. You have many avenues open up to you.
No, yeah, it's fun. And it's the same reason why I become a nurse, because I look good in that uniform.
I'm dead.
Yeah, I gotta look good. It's like, why did you want to become a cop? I think I look good in this. Like, honestly, I look great in here. So you don't want to do it to protect the citizens? Fuck them citizens. No, I just want the badge. Like, it's cool.
Something to accomplish.
So I mean, aside from all that, any regrets?
Yeah, life. I woke up this morning regretting everything. Actually, it started in 8th grade. No, let me stop. Let me stop. But no, what you like, Shannon? Like, what are your goals? Like, what was your goals like when you was growing up, and have they changed, or you think they're still aligned from like when you were younger?
I would say from when I was a kid, I was really into the movie Twister. So I surprisingly, even though I'm scared of fucking everything, I wanted to be a storm chaser.
That's surprising.
I'm scared of everything, but I want to chase that big cloud.
What a cloud chaser, am I right?
You know, I loved Twister. I wanted to be a storm chaser. I think I've seen Twister like well into like the 30s. Like 30, 40 times.
So you would say that's your favorite movie?
Right now, no, but as a kid, definitely.
So if I like presented you with like a Twister's DVD, would you take it?
I would. What? I mean, I don't have a DVD player. It's 2021.
A VHS? Wait, that was a VHS movie?
Oh, when did it come out? Like, yeah, it definitely was on VHS.
What?
Forget it.
What?
Forget it.
Wait, is it VHS?
Yes, it's definitely. It was on VHS at one point.
Man, you could have found that shit in Blockbuster.
Yeah, dude.
You don't have Blockbuster.
There's one in like
I think it closed. The one in Alaska closed.
Nah, I think it's Texas. Texas still has one.
Oh,
I know there's like one or two still out, and that they still receive even current movies like to this day.
Love that.
That's cool.
But yeah, Storm Chaser when I was a kid, and then when I was in high school, I don't know. I think when I was in high school, I was wanting to be a doctor a little bit. I think that's what it was. I was really obsessed with Doctor House. Like House MD was like one of my favorite shows. So I was like, I can be a doctor. But then I realized you have to be good at math to do that. And I'm absolutely ass at math. And I was just like, I'm just going to give up that dream.
It's okay. I'm not good at math, and I got my pharmacy tech license. I'm potentially like almost killing people. It's okay.
Jesus Christ!
Don't worry, I don't touch anything with
damn. Fucking bleak.
Yo, what pharmacy are you working? I'm staying away from it. No. It's okay. Come here.
That one. But now, my passion my passion's always been movies. I love movies. It's kind of like what I've always been, especially horror movies. I have like comprehensive lists of like the best horror movies by subcategory. Like that's how much I've been into it. And I've always wanted to produce things, which is kind of, this podcast has kind of been like the start of me actually going forth with my dreams.
Well, it's not going good. I can tell you that much. You might want to reconsider another career.
I mean, it's only been a couple episodes, but this is just like the first step of like me, like pursuing that, producing something, working in After Effects.
Failure is not failure. Failure is just you pursuing one avenue and realizing it's not the way to go.
Yeah, personally, I've never been particularly afraid of failure because I have failed at a lot of things.
You also surround yourself with failures too.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them behind the camera too. So. You're welcome.
There's only one of us here that's successful in what they in their endeavors that they chased after.
Oscar.
That's Oscar. Let's all take notes from him. But so working in After Effects, I've wanted to produce horror movies. That was always been like the back of my head. But you always kind of feel like certain things are kind of out of reach. But the older I've gotten, the more I've just like, well, why the fuck not? Like, why shouldn't I go and try to?
When you mean horrific, do you mean like horrific as in like scary, or do you mean horrific as like this shit is just bad?
Well, that question would make sense if I said the word horrific.
I mean, we're pretty. This fucking podcast is pretty horrific. We're one long Halloween joke.
Oh well, yeah, but I think
an April Fool's joke going on too long.
I waited for the punchline.
When's it coming, please?
But yeah, those were my dreams.
So that's your current dream right now.
Mm-hmm.
Any regrets?
Any regrets?
Starting up the.
Aaron, stop it! You're being Aaron.
Hey, this is shitting on all of us. Okay, we're all getting.
Yeah, but this is Shannon's thing. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm proud to be a part of this podcast.
Thank you,
I'm
Jay.
having so much fun being appeased by everyone.
Gun just behind the camera.
He's reading it from a prompter. I am very happy to be here.
Yeah, man, I love coming here and almost getting murdered every other filming session.
Yeah, it's like I look forward to this every other week. It's like so fun.
It's okay,
I'm serious.
Jay. Oh.
I'm serious. Jesus. Oh my God.
Why did you believe me?
Yeah,
your general diction and just like the tone of your voice always sounds like you're sarcastic.
Yeah.
We gonna leave. Yo, they lying. He lying.
But in terms of regrets, to be honest with you, no, because I feel as if everything kind of happens the way they're supposed to happen. If I would have pursued other things, then I probably wouldn't have gotten the confidence to like do something like this and put myself out there. I kind of had to put myself in a position where I failed at a lot of other things to kind of get the drive in me to actually go and put myself out there and do something.
That's the boring cop-out response every single one of us definitely had ready for this.
No, I mean, it holds weight though.
Damn it, now I actually have to think about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I get it. No, I think that's a valid answer. As much as a cop-out as it is, it's valid. She got rejected enough times to feel comfortable with getting rejected. That sucks.
Yeah,
I'm light skinned. I never got rejected, but not me. But y'all stay safe.
No,
But,
no, that's like
Bless y'all soul.
that's like the biggest advice. You know, I read all the time of like how millionaires become successful and how people in business become successful. And one of the tips that they say is to be comfortable with being rejected because we're gonna get rejected a lot.
Tip number 1, know people. Tip number 2, come from a rich family.
Nah.
Tip number 3,
networking.
tip number 1 and 2 fail. Be comfortable with rejection.
I wonder how much like they actually tell you the truth, because I know that if I was like a millionaire or a billionaire, I would just start saying outlandish.
Bro, if I was a millionaire, I would do what so many other people do, where it's like, do you want to be a millionaire? Click my free web series. And then like they click on it, and then they'll see like at the bottom it's like, please insert your credit card to see free video.
I would do
and the 3 wacky numbers behind.
I would do some crazy thing. Like I'd be like, yeah, I bought 12 eggs every single morning, rub them over my body, crack them into a bathtub, and mix them with a leaf from an orange tree. Just like
that doesn't exist, but I got the orange
Every
leaf.
day I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning because early birds get the worm. I start my daily meditation. Then I go and I crack open my my computer and start running my software programs and just look at my stocks.
Yeah, I don't eat breakfast till like 6 in the afternoon or something.
Bro,
like,
if you're not working 24/7, 80 days a week, are you even working, bro?
I mean, don't get me wrong, right? That $1 million, $1 billion lifestyle is dangerous. It is. Like, it does require that, constant grinding, because at your beginning stages of like having a company, stuff like that, there's no room for error. You don't have enough money to like patch up.
I feel like as soon as you get to a certain degree, it like basically just self-sustaining.
Well,
That's at the beginning stages.
For those at home who don't understand what we're talking about, we are assaulting the American dream. Get it? The whole episode is about dreams. Might as well talk about the American dream while we're at it.
It's not necessarily like insulting it, but like currently, especially in modern day,
meritocracy is alive, folks.
Especially on TikTok, right? Because my TikToks are like full of stuff. People like this, like the modern day Gen Z entrepreneurs and stuff like that. Like
when I was 21, while everyone else was out there having fun and partying, I was stuck at home working my ass off. And you know what? I chose this lifestyle.
I'm 21 years old and it makes 6 figures, and I'm like, okay, you scam.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, they're out there. I'm not, no hate to those that are actually doing it, but there's a lot of scammers on TikTok.
I almost did an impression. Like, it was literally coming out of my mouth as I was about to say it. I had it like retracted back in because I don't think I'm not ready to be that political yet.
But just to go back to what Aldo said about like when you get to a certain point it becomes self-sustaining. That the time before it gets that, it's a lot of grinding because there's a lot of like self-teaching because not everybody. Personally, I think it's very stupid that people go to college for certain things if you're going to like that you can learn on your own.
Business.
Well,
I love your area. I love it.
I can say the same shit about being a cop. It's not like cops out here go fucking smart people. It's like any.
Oh, trust me. You don't need a law degree to become a cop. I know that.
Bro, it just seems like they handed it to anybody.
Well, you go to class. Like, yeah, it's your. I'm not nothing against that. He's right. I'm not sitting here lying. Like, I've interned for like a lot of police stations and stuff like that. What I'm saying is that, I'm not gonna lie, there's some jobs that should not require degrees. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, cops is one of those things that should require some form of like higher degree than what they're giving out now.
Definitely. But you don't need an MBA to like to really know.
Why are you bringing in basketball?
How many years do you think I have to go to school before I can start killing people? As a dictator.
Well, let's be honest with you. You don't need it. You don't. I mean,
where's dictator school?
You can do it right after high school if you join the military. You don't even need a degree.
Just join the military. Just join the military. You get it all there.
How many years of school?
You heard it here, folks. If you want to be a dictator at home, join the military.
I think we're having two different conversations. You're talking about cops still, aren't you?
Well, he's talking about the idea of like having a degree to kill people. I'm like, you don't need one.
He's not on the same page, bro.
I thought you said you wanted to like.
Yeah, I was talking about the dictator thing. He's talking about cops still.
No, I'm still replying to you.
Yeah, he's replying to you.
I think you're talking about cops.
No, he said if you wanted to be a dictator. He said if you wanted to be a dictator, you just have to go to the military.
Yeah, you was like, yo, how many years? You was like, No, you were saying like, how many years of school do I need to become a dictator? I was like, nah, it's free if you go to college, if you go to join the army or the military.
Join the army.
Join the military, you can be the dictator all you want. I mean, it's called a commander, don't get me wrong. I don't know if they mean the same. They sound like synonyms to me. No slander to the military at all, by the way.
He's lying.
I feel like we're on a list somewhere now. This whole podcast, like we're on a watch list somewhere.
Yeah, we're blacklisted from like 30 airports.
To be fair, right? This is all scripted. This is all Shannon's ideas. So.
I don't have a script in front of me. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I definitely do.
He lying. There's like 2 words that says hello and it stops right there.
Listen, I needed a cop out, okay?
You needed an alibi. You just ruined it.
The unscripted podcast.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it is an unscripted podcast. What are you talking about?
Yeah, if anybody ever at home wondered why we sound like a bunch of fucking retards.
Why nothing gets done in this podcast.
I mean, we did have that one episode that was like semi-scripted and we had to scrap because we sound like robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I don't get me wrong, like have like a basis of what you want to talk about.
The wannabe actor was too robotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's just like I wasn't feeling the episode, bro. Like I was raging at first, but then it's like I calmed myself down.
Yeah, it didn't have
somehow we ended up sneaking some of the points that we had in that episode into this episode. Again, American Dream.
That was you. That was all you.
Hey, we're talking about dreams. You might as well talk about the American dream, the biggest lie.
It's not a lie. The American, coming back onto the topic, I just think it's out of date. It's outdated.
Because here's the thing, right? In order to have what the American dream when it was made and when it was like, it is antiquated, right? Because there's certain things in terms of how we run our economy is completely different. If you're talking about the American dream prior to trickle-down economics, then there is some validity to it. But now that we kind of handle taxes the way that we do now, the middle class is practically destroyed now.
Man, it just sounds like they use the American dream as a ploy to get people to come and work for labor.
No, that's part of it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right. So the way I see is like, because the American dream back then, at least back then, one of those, come to America and you can have a decent life, you can have a good life, because here in America,
if you work for X amount of years.
I mean, outside of when you retire, I don't think it compensates for that. But come here, you can make a living. This is back then. You can make a living, you could sustain a family, and you could at that point in time when that slogan was being thrown around, you can have 2.5 kids, a dog, your husband, wife, and y'all could live comfortably. Y'all could travel the world, the whole 9 yards.
The wife could stay home and dad could work.
Now,
I think the problem with the American dream thing, right? It's more real for immigrants, right? Because if I look at people back in Mexico, or from like the community that my grandparents come from, they're making in a week what we'll make in 2 hours on minimum wage. So of course, someone from that community coming here is gonna be living it, a lot better than whatever they normally would be making over there. Especially the people that like be working over here on, picking like our produce and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because they make bank in a couple months, go back, and they have enough to like make a house.
Yeah,
but a lot of that is just being a part of the American empire. You feel me? Like they're subjugated by those standards because of the American empire. So to me, I don't know. It feels just like a form of like virtue signaling for America as a whole.
It is a form of virtue signaling, but I feel as if even that statement in itself is a very privileged statement to make, because all of us here, even though we come from like a different degrees of economic status, we all sitting here are still more privileged than a lot of people in our home countries. Like I go to DR all the time, and you're driving through DR, people are living in shacks, and we can sit here and talk until we're blue in the face of like how antiquated the American dream is, and it is, honestly. The way we handle our economy, the way that we what's the word? Oh my God, why is that word escaping me? Like we take advantage of the people, we exploit immigrants, and we exploit people who come from these poorer countries, 100%. And part of the reason why these countries are so poor is because of the United States. But, we can talk about all of that. But at the end of the day, that conversation doesn't mean anything to them. because as long as they can come here and make more money here than they ever will in Mexico or DR or Puerto Rico or, fucking somewhere in the middle of Bangkok somewhere. As long as they can do that and feed their families, that's all they're going to care about. Because that's all they need to care about.
That whole entire dream is expiring. I think October the government's running out of like money. Is it October? Is it this month or
it's
next
October?
month?
It's in October, like on the 15th, I think.
They're always gonna find a way out of it.
They were trying to print more money. We did it twice already, so doesn't matter.
I feel like that the headlines when they say that are a little bit misleading because it's like they always do that. They say, "Oh, the U.S. is going to do this, he was going to do that," but then when you actually read into it, it's like you guys said, they're gonna find a way out of it. They're gonna print more money because if one thing the left and the right do not want to do is to throw this whole country into fucking bankruptcy and
it's not even just that. It's just the United States is just such an important country in the world that literally the entire economy of the world will come crashing down. Into the United States, so.
Like it's like the whole Great Depression thing, right? When the stock market crashed back then, Europe, Africa, China, all those other countries, they were getting hit. Like they got
not countries, continents.
Yeah, my bad. All right, they were getting hit.
Sometimes gotta catch up.
I don't know about sometimes. I'm an ed person with a degree. Leave me alone. But but those countries got hit hard. So you can only imagine a more modern day economy crash. It's gonna things are gonna get halted harder than what it was back then. So I think it's best decision to come up with something. Not fairly quick, but it's something that both parties can agree on. But knowing how we are today and how the United States is shaped, I think it's going to be a relatively difficult decision to come down to.
They make it sound more difficult than it is, but both sides, they're friends at the end of the day. They just play these political games. I
don't know about that.
Trust me. If you see the way a lot of people on the right and the left,
you gotta catch them when they're home, bro. Nancy Pelosi be chilling with Mitch McConnell.
You can see there are videos of Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell just being chummy. They are all cool. They just play these games. But to go back to what you said, the last thing the United States needs, and this is the reason why I'm not totally worried about what's going on with the money, is the one thing the U.S. will not do is let China be an economic monster to the point where we become second nature.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think they ever
happening.
It's happening in front of their eyes, but they're not gonna want to accelerate that process. So they're gonna find if there's
they said they're supposed to. China's supposed to figure that their economy or something. I don't know if it's the economy or something that has something to do with their infrastructure.
You guys wanted Fallout, right? The United States and America.
Oh God!
United States and China fighting.
Get the bottle caps ready.
Get the bottle caps ready.
Get the bottle caps ready.
This always ties back to the bottle caps. There's one main point I want people to take home: save bottle caps. They're gonna be valuable one day.
Bro, that's the thing, right? Everyone's asking where to invest their money.
I get a dog.
Bottle caps.
Let's get a dog.
You buy one of those bottle cap imprinting machines.
Holy shit! How did this thing got so political so fast?
It's
hard to talk about dreams without not talking about the American dreams.
It's all intertwined.
Yeah, but going back to the whole dreams conversation and stuff like that.
Let's keep it nice and frothy.
Yeah, and there's always something dark going to come out with every episode. I feel like.
God, so you want to talk about nightmares now?
Oh, you want to do nightmares? What is something that you fear?
You talking about in terms of my future or in terms
is that how the question's phrased?
Oh yeah.
In general?
I mean, I think let's make it a little bit less broad. What is something that you fear about your future? Or something you potentially don't want to happen that you're afraid might happen?
Being normal.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone's on the same wavelength with it. They're just
conformity is my fear.
Wait, what? Okay, you're gonna go
conformity is my fear.
Why are you always so confused, Jay?
Yeah, leave me alone. I'm lost, man. I really feel like, yo, what am I doing here? It's like half of every episode.
Yes, conformity is my fear. I refuse to just stand still. I don't know what it is about it, but I just can't ever
I have ADHD.
Okay. I can't be it doesn't matter what I have. I could tell somebody else looking in. They can say, you have it all, man. It still wouldn't be enough for me, and I would still try to pursue something.
I mean, compared to that person, he's probably right.
Yeah.
To him, you have it all, but
I can't stop, bro. I have to keep pushing myself. Even if I have all the money in the world, I'm still I can't stop moving. I don't know. Me just telling myself, okay, it's ready to settle down. I'm ready to just be comfortable where I am. I can't see that happening anytime soon. One day my body's gonna catch up to me. But until then, man, I'm gonna keep it moving.
His body going mink mink.
I have to, bro. I can't. That shit scares the shit out of me. From one day, me like the moment that I become complacent, the moment that I conform to something, is the moment that I stop being creative, and that part of me kills me because, man, I don't know, like I can't draw art, but I envision shit that I want to see, beautiful shit that I have trapped in my mind. So just because I can't do it doesn't mean I can't find people that can I can't do it, which is what I normally do. I make friends in things that I am interested into, like pursuing, and then through them I essentially give them my idea, and we make something like come to life.
I share that sentiment. I think part of my biggest fear in life is to not do something, which is I have really terrible impulse control. So like I would just like the minute I have an idea about something, I just do it. There's nothing that really stops me from doing something that I want to do. So because of that, I see a lot of failure because I just do shit. But I think my biggest fear, and it's always been this way, is to look back and see that I didn't do something. And that's why I kind of like have my foot into so many places. Like, I want to get, like, I'm finishing up my master's degree. I'm doing that. Am I going to pursue a career in what I'm getting my master's degree for? Probably not. But to say that I did it and I accomplished something, with this podcast, even if it doesn't go anywhere, knock on wood that it does, because, it'd be very unfortunate if it didn't. But, and then the production company that, we're trying to start, I want to look back and say that at least I did it. I the kind of drive that I have, like, I just, like, I can't just see myself just not doing. I've never seen myself in my head how I envision myself in the future is not successful. That's never been. It's not not being successful is not an option for me. It's gonna happen one way or the other.
Sigma mindset, right? That's a Sigma grind set.
See, for me, so I don't continue beating the same dead horse, kind of like goes down to like what I was talking about the other day. Just like waking up tomorrow and realizing that everything that's happened so far has all been a fucking dream. Like every relation.
He's living in simulation.
Yeah,
the person controlling him.
Black Mirror shit.
That's how
the person,
like just thinking about that, like literally losing everything overnight. That's terrifying.
The person controlling him is on pause and he ain't gonna get nothing done. You live in a simulation right now,
but
bro.
that's the unfortunate reality of pursuing the things that we're trying to pursue. It's not safe. Doing anything in business is not really safe because one day you can wake up, the economy shit, you go bankrupt, you lose everything. With this, we can say what if this, gets successful one day, we see the wrong thing one time, we get canceled. There's always a potential to lose everything. With this pandemic, we didn't scientists foresaw it happening, but the average person didn't foresee it happening. There's people who lost their businesses, lost everything because of this pandemic. They woke up one day and all of a sudden they have to get food stamps or go and on food lines to get free food. And they didn't envision their lives being like that. We can always lose everything, but I think what is important is not to have that fear in the back, even though that's a good fear to have with this segment of the podcast.
What about you, Jay?
Oh, I'm living my fear right now. I don't know what y'all talking about.
He's living in constant fear.
Yeah, it's a constant fear. Nah, it's not that, right? Because I have this, like, I can't. We actually talked about this actually in a few other episodes ago, right? The fear is like, not being able to like see the success that I will eventually get to and playing it off as if it's just this normal thing, right? The day I do become a cop, right? It's just another day to me. So I fear like that I'm not going to be able to like enjoy like the end result produce.
The whole Apex and Call of Duty thing all over again.
Yeah, like that. It plays like a huge role and stuff like that. Whereas like I achieved the dream that I always set out to do. And it's like,
now
okay,
what?
Yeah, like now what? Like, what am I doing?
From success.
Yeah.
Well, and then maybe you can pursue more dreams within that dream. Like maybe, okay, you're a cop.
Inception.
I'm gonna be a detective.
You can be a detective or a sergeant.
Your dream, bro. And then why stop there when you could put another dream?
That's the problem, though, right? Because he's never gonna feel like any sense of satisfaction or any sense of like actual happiness from like him having achieved his actual dream.
Like this podcast is just like, you guys invited me to come on here and do every episode, and it's fun. I'm enjoying myself. But at the end,
the gun is gone.
The gun's not back there anymore. But I'm serious. Like, coming down here, Oscar driving us over here, and with these two, and seeing you, especially after a while from like high school and stuff like that. It's just
we living the dream, baby. We living the dream.
It's just like, at the end of the day, it's just you guys invited me. I said, okay, I'll do it, and that's it. There's nothing more to it.
Now what?
Yeah, like after we finish the episode, we have 2 weeks off and stuff like that before the next episode. Now it's just okay, now what? And that's how I see it. The fear that I have, again, is like I'm not going to be able to see the success that I'm doing. And a lot of people be like, yo, you're doing so well for yourself, and I'm like, okay, but I'm just doing stuff for now.
We can't even ask the only person that has the answer to that question, because he actually achieved the fucking goal and dream that he set out for.
Yeah, Oscar. No, I promise you. I said, you guys heard me say this all the damn time. Like high school Oscar, this man would talk about his dreams and it baffled me. It's probably one of the reasons why I started to want to do stuff with a little bit of motivation too. Right, because it's like, I seen how other people viewed him when he talked about the stuff that he did. It's like, yo, he's weird, and I'm not gonna lie, I was part of the same thing. I was like, yo, that man's weird, but it's so cool because he's so passionate, and he got to where he wanted to be. I'm like, yo, I hate you, but it's like so cool because like, yo, like if I would have done the same thing he did, I probably would have been somewhere by now.
Yeah, and I get that point, because like when you brought up that point, it made me kind of think about my dad a little bit, because my dad in his own right is very successful, and it's just like it feels like with that success every other year he's getting a new promotion. And I had the conversation with him. I was like, do you ever see yourself satisfied? He's probably getting a promotion now, and he said, if I don't get this promotion and I'm here until I retire, I'll be fine. And I asked him, I was just like, well, how do you cope with that, just being at the same place until you retire? And my dad is like me, especially when he was younger. My dad's always been kind of like he likes to hustle, he likes high stress jobs, and he likes being able to get the reward of working really, really hard. And my dad is kind of like me, like impulsive, but in a good way. He takes risks, and he's seen a lot of reward from it. And because he's like me, I try to use him as a model, because I know I always kind of fear that I'm not going to be satisfied. But with him, the fact that he's self-satisfied now, he's just like, when you get to my age and you realize that there's more years behind you than there is ahead of you, you kind of feel a sense of peace in looking back at all the things that you did do.
That's just a blessing that comes with age. But we're not at that point.
We're already wild old, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't got Meganese anymore, Brisky. I got Rice Krispie treats going on down there. I'll be getting up and they just be popping.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
You get up from bed and your knees just buckle. You ever just get the old shimmy?
Yeah. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm running to the bathroom, and it don't feel good.
You go to the bathroom and you make the old people noise when you sit down.
Just keep on. I know you be letting all them grunts like, ugh, like, oh god, I ain't trying to get that way. Like I feel like I'm like,
my favorite thing is when they're
like, I feel like I know when I'm gonna get old, because it's like I'm gonna have a kid and I'm gonna instantly know how to fix stuff. I think that's one of my fears, right? I'm gonna settle down and stuff like that. I'm gonna have like a kid.
Being a good dad.
Wait, what?
My biggest fear is I'm gonna have a kid and I'm gonna instantly know how to do stuff. So be a good dad.
I sound like Goku right now. Shit. But like, nah. Don't make it even make it out like, alright, that's just dumb. I'm gonna just stop talking about it. I'm gonna dig myself a hole. I don't want kids anymore.
The moment you brought up Goku as like an example, I was like, oh no, that's not a good example.
Yo, yeah,
man's had one of his like worst enemies literally raise his child for like a full like year and a half or something like that.
Yo, he's a stepdad. That's like every father's worst nightmare. What are you talking about?
Man goes home to just eat and then leaves.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's goals though. Everyone's like, yo, Piccolo's black. I was like, nah, he's not black. That's a stepfather. You just.
I'm crying.
Yeah, no, fucking hell, man. What a conversation. That's a good weird ass turn towards the end there. Fuck it, I find the comedic relief is always best.
The light endings and stuff like that.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in.
Don't misgender me.
Ladies, gentlemen, and Jay. Stay perfectly imperfect, everyone. Yeah, god damn. I'm doing my outro.
Oh, you talking about, wait, you was talking to the audience?
I was talking to the audience.
Oh.
We can have our side
Don't
conversation.
misgender. Don't misgender them. Now let me stop.
Oh my god. Okay.
You should just mute us, and then we should like do the outro of like whose line is it anyways? We'll just like move our mouths a lot, and we'll just like shake each other's hands while she's like giving out the outro. Do it.
All right, my ladies, men's, and non-binary friends, stay perfectly imperfect. And this has been the Sorta Dead Podcast. Have a wonderful rest of your day.